Hey guys, and welcome back to my sketchbook. Just wanted to hit you with a midweek creative burst, hopefully encourage you to take just a little bit of time to do a bit of sketching. Doesn't have to be an hour, just see what you end up with. We're keeping up this regular drawing habit together. I almost talked myself out of doing any art today, as always really. I wasn't really in the mood to paint. I was flicking through my usual reference books, looking for something to catch my eye, and it just wasn't clicking. And then I thought, why don't I just do some sketching instead? So I grabbed a different book. It was Anatomy for the Artist by Sarah Simblay. I'll have it linked below if you're interested. And I found this page with a few facial expressions and I just got to it. These are the first faces that I've sketched since I did the 100 Heads challenge, and I still actually felt quite confident, like a kind of a residual muscle memory left over from those 10 days of exclusively drawing faces. So I found this quite easy to settle back into. I do think muscle memory is such a huge part of drawing faces, drawing anything really, but I find it the most relevant with faces. I used to think, even up until the very moment that I started sketching these, that I didn't really have a rhyme or reason to how I approached drawing faces, but I did realise that it was there. It was just habit. It was all habit. So I quite often start with the shape of the head. In this case, I think I started with the cheek on the left-hand side every single time. And when I'm drawing the same face over and over, I do tend to follow the same routine, but I am flexible in just going for whatever part I'm drawn to first. But generally, I try to look at the head as a whole. I start quite angularly and geometrically, just seeing everything as a few simple shapes, you know, how long one line is that leads to another and what angle it does so at. Then I almost always go for the nose. I think it's just an easy way to establish the layout of things on the face, but I also think it goes back to what you learn about drawing faces right at the beginning, and I've had people ask why or how I don't use the traditional methods of drawing faces that you learn when you first start out, you know, starting with an oval, splitting it into quarters or thirds, and then the eyes go here, the nose lines up with the ears, etc. And what I didn't realise was that I am doing that. It's just so internalised now that I can pick it up and use it however I want. Like, I'm drawing the nose where I can see it on the reference in relation to the rest of his face, but I'm also acutely aware of the fact that it's generally going to be around the same level as the bottom of the ears. And from there, I just work my way around, following one feature to another, you know, everything relating to the last part that I drew, and the drawing as a whole. One thing that I've constantly struggled with is eyes. I can never get my eyes to look in the direction that I want them to. They always end up skew-if, looking in different directions. So if anyone has any advice on how they deal with eyes, I would love to know. And when it comes to getting the darker line work down, the final drawing on top of the initial sketch, I tend to start with the nose. I don't know why. It just feels like a part that won't go wrong. I don't have to fear committing to the darker lines because, I don't know, it just feels like I have the nose covered. Also, the nostrils and the area under the nose will generally be the darkest part of my drawing, even if it's just a small area of pure black right there up in the nose. That gives me my darkest value and something to base the rest of the drawing on. So it's a good starting point. Anyway, that'll be it for today. Hopefully you are feeling inspired to spend a little time in your own sketchbook, but otherwise I hope you have a great day. It is ridiculously hot in here, so I am hoping to finish this editing soon and get outside. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.